Yo! Video games.
I mean, I played other games, but I mean, the best game of the show
Game of show.
is Remake.
RE2 Remake.
Yeah, it's Remake 2. Like, hands down, it was the best game of the show.
I got to play it twice.
Yeah.
I got to watch you guys play it several times in the back.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I'm super fucking amped. There's only one thing I have to like knock it,
Yeah.
and that's the goofy ass run. But even then, like, it's really not that big of a deal.
You're not paying attention unless you're watching the game, not playing it, really.
Oh no, I noticed it when I was playing. Like, it
Like,
just
if you
seemed-
stop
so
and
fucking
look,
goofy.
you'll be like, oh, wait. But usually when you're playing the game, you're not looking at Leon's... Well, I'm not looking at Leon's ass, but...
You're missing out.
I'm always focusing ahead, like, what's coming down the hallway.
Well, no, I'm not. It's like, it's goofy how slow, like, he's huffing and puffing, and he's doing this, like, barely over a walk run.
For a 21-year-old police cadet,
Yeah,
he should
like,
be in prime shape.
He should have some balls out sprints in him a little bit.
But he is freaked out.
I guess. But that just seems like he'd have adrenaline. He'd be sprinting even more. Like, he'd be less likely to be doing this tired-ass
Well, I
jog.
mean, there's definitely parts where I'd be like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah. But overall, like, atmosphere of the game, fuck, it was good. It was good. I feel like it very much disproves everybody's bullshit about, like, you can't have a true RE that's over the shoulder because it's, like, it's not an action game.
Well, one thing they did is they made the zombies real bullet sponges.
Yeah.
We had heard on the last day, the problem is a lot of people are shooting zombies in the face, and it's like you have to hit the top of their head, their chrome. You got to get to their brain. Like, they've specifically made it so, like, you need to make them brain dead, because even without a jaw or half their fucking face, they'll still come after you.
Yeah, well, I was putting them down in two
Like,
hits.
You gotta get because a lot of people, you know, myself included, it'd be like 5 shots into the fucking head and they still coming back. You really got to get the brain. You got to get the brain part of it. And I saw zombies go down really fast too if they're got the right shot on their head. So it's not how to say this.
That's how you say it.
That's how I say it.
That's how you say it.
It is not a 1-to-1 remake. It is not the same architecture. There are hallways and rooms that are the same, but it is not 100% down to the wire remake of the game.
Which I think is great.
There's a whole second floor that's different from the original game's second floor. So the third floor is different because of that. Yeah, everything is it's really been reimagined, but not in a way that sort of like it's not like the movie Resident Evil where it's like it kind of like the game. It's got a Jill and a Nemesis, but like the whole purpose and story of them is different. No. It's still the same story for the most part. It's still the same setting. It's still the same sort of sequence of events.
Yeah,
just different. Like the big one is kind of like. You go down the I think it's the east side of the police station first or something, rather than the west or whatever, the right of where you walk in. And then you come back and you get saved by Marvin, who was just laying down in one room by himself in the original game. You don't do much with him. But he's like more of a character this time, and he's in multiple scenes, and he lives longer. So, I mean, he's going to die at some point, obviously. I don't know.
and then you're going to shoot him in his face.
Right. So it's like, it's the same story and it's the same setting, but they've highly expanded what goes on in that story and world. So it's really good. It's very
going to be longer.
Again, it's going to be, definitely. And it's using the RE engine, so it's going for a more hyper-realistic look. The characters are based off of like the actors who are doing the voices and mocap. Which, again, makes me very curious as how the more wacky anime plot points at the end of that game are going to be handled.
I don't know.
I'm real interested to see how that goes down. But apparently they did confirm there's a big gator in the game in the sewers at one point.
Yes.
So,
I
don't know how there couldn't be, but that's just exciting to know. They said Hunk and Tofu will be in the game, absolutely. And Mike pointed out, you can totally hear Hunk say a line in the Rat trailer. When they're doing like a city panning shot, there's all these voice clips, and one of them is clearly a guy in a mask going like, "What's my extraction point?"
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's like, well, that's Hunk.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, like, I'm really fucking excited for this game, and I think something that's gonna make people really excited is that the puzzles seem to be back.
But
like,
they're different. They're not the same
different,
puzzles.
yeah.
You're not going to blow through this.
They're different, but they're very in line with RE puzzles. And if from what I didn't catch his name, but the guy we were talking to, he was saying like, hey, like these puzzles are going to be like, you know, not challenging if you're exploring a lot, but like you're not just going to be able to like fucking shift with them, fuck with them until you get it. Like you're going to have to explore is something that he was saying. Like the answers are in exploring, which is great because the atmosphere in the game is pants shitting.
Yeah.
Like there's some shit like just the touch of there being 2 inches of water in the hallways flooding in the police station where like you got to crawl through it, and when you step there's echoes of your footsteps in the water and shit, and then like you hear something kind of like sloshing through the water before you can see it. Your flashlight has a draw distance on it, which a lot of people in line were kind of like, or afterwards were kind of like, oh, that's not realistic. Like you'd be able to. Actually, it's totally realistic that your flashlight has a certain distance that it's effective to.
Not to mention this is 1998.
Yeah, and you're using incandescent. It's not LED, but your view distance on a light or your throw distance on a light, that is a true thing. It's just that it would be like 30 meters, not fucking 16 feet.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. I really like... There's little touches in the game that I don't remember from RE2.
Yeah.
That I feel like the welcome rook, your first assignment thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in the first.
It's in there, but it's not. There's no puzzle to it like there's in this game.
Like that's really cool.
So they added a little puzzle mechanic with that part of it, and then there's
the boards.
There's the boards, boarding up windows, like which take up an inventory slot until you use it and board it up. There's an interesting thing in the save room where the dark room is in the original game. You go in there and it's dark, and there's a light switch you can turn on. When you turn the light switch on, that's when the game slowly starts playing the save room music. It doesn't play unless you turn that light on, which is a nice, neat little cute touch. Stuff like that. It's pretty much everything I told my mom, like, this is really everything you've ever wanted out of an RE2 remake. Unless,
so amped.
You're one of those people who are like, I really wanted static cameras, and I'm sorry. I would say I feel bad for you people, but I fucking don't.
Yeah, because I don't want that shit.
Because I didn't want it, and really there are a lot of great static camera angle games, and I want to experience RE2 in a new way, not the same way. So that's why I'm excited for this over the shoulder, but it's still scary as fuck.
I didn't think to ask if they were going to have, because there was that rumor for a while that they were going to have both.
Yeah.
And I didn't think to ask.
Clearly, the way the game's designed, it would not work with over the shoulder at all. Like, you would have to completely rebalance and adjust the game for static camera angles. Like,
yeah, because you wouldn't be able to aim.
Right, exactly. You're not
for shit.
Yeah, the game is not in any way, shape, or form balanced for static cameras. It is completely designed around the over the shoulder.
Yeah, and if you're worried that it's not going to be as scary because it's over the shoulder, let me assure you there is plenty of camera bullshit to make you terrified. Like Leon takes up some space. Like if you're going against a wall, Leon might take up 3/4 of your camera.
It's more terrifying because, again, even with good aiming and whatnot, the zombies are still more persistent and tougher in this game. So it's not like, oh, it's scary to not be in full control of yourself. No, it's scarier to have full control and not be able to stop these things.
And I never ran into more than one or two at a time.
Yeah. I think the most,
or 3.
I think 3 is like the most you can get coming at you at one point in the demo.
Okay, because I think
you're
maybe 3.
You're really fucked if you do that though.
I never had
actually.
A problem.
You could get 4 or 5 in the Welcome Leon room if you awaken everyone.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be possible because there's the guy in the police chief's office. There's a guy like resting at the desk, and then there's the 2 guys outside who will follow you in. So you could get at least 4.
Yeah. See, I never had a problem putting anyone down, but I can see that, like, if you open a door and it was just a hallway full of zombies, you're like, fuck. Because the zombies don't run, right? They
but
just
the thing
shamble.
is, they follow you. They will follow you upstairs. They will follow you into rooms. They will follow you into bathrooms. Like, they're not. There's no loading areas. There's nothing to stop them.
Yeah, there's only and doors. They'll knock down doors. They'll break through windows. They'll fucking...
Even Remake had the thing where you could run through a window. Now, Remake tried to do a thing where Crimson Heads or certain zombies will maybe some points occasionally pound through a door and go into another hallway. But it was really kind of more selective. And these things is if they get a whiff of your scent, they will just keep coming after you. Much like that one cheesy, shitty horror movie, It Follows.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, I mean, you could, because it happened to plenty of people where they would, like, go somewhere and they thought they'd run away and they were long gone from dealing with the zombie. And all of a sudden, the thing came up and bit him in the back. It's like, it followed.
Yeah.
It followed you all the way up that staircase and shit.
Fuck, that game's going to be stressful. It's going to be great.
You need to put shit down is what you need to do.
Yeah, if they give you enough ammo.
Yeah. Get good at
Because that was another thing. Like, I missed one shot. Out of all the times I shot, it always only took me 2 shots to the head, and I missed one fucking time. So I never felt like I was going to run out of ammo, but I also didn't find a shitload of ammo.
There is ammo around. A lot of it's actually kind of like
Hidden?
not hidden, but just if you didn't pay attention really closely to your environment, you'd miss it.
Yeah, that's another thing about
And you
the game.
can combine gunpowder because they brought the gunpowder element back from
Yeah.
3 and 7. You can combine gunpowder to make bullet, handgun, or shotgun shells. So
Yeah, and inventory management's going to be a big thing.
yeah, they had the inventory box but all that was moved into the main hall rather than the side room, the reception area. Like, the reception area has a box of bullets and a herb in it, and nothing else now.
Yeah.
You don't see the liquor claw go by that window anymore. It's actually first time you see a liquor crawl by a window, it's like on the 3rd floor now. So they changed shit. They changed shit up.
Game's going to be good. It's
You
going to
do
be so good.
So it's interesting because you see the effects of the liquor, where you see the one guy where his whole fucking face has been
cut off,
gashed,
yeah.
like gashed with a big claw.
Oh, and the
on his
gore.
jaw.
The gore
Yeah.
in this game is so good.
It's so good, and it's not cringy like Last of Us gore.
Yeah, when you rip I don't know how much to go into, but like, you pull a dude and the zombies have ripped him in half.
Yeah.
And you pull him out and his guts are just in there and it just looks
It
so
was super
gooey
Land
and-
of the Dead, like Day of the Dead-ish.
Oh. Oh.
Choke on it.
Yeah, and then like the lifting up the guy's head. The thing about the lifting up the guy's head that's been like had his head kind of like ripped in half by a liquor, his eyes, the glazed over eyes
Yeah.
looked so perfect and just like fucked up. And then, his jaw's hanging at a weird angle. Even JJ, when I was like, no, you
Leon's
gotta-
like, oh fuck.
yeah. I was like, JJ, you gotta watch this. She was like, do I though? Do I have to see this? And he pulls up, she's like, I didn't want to see that. And I was like, it's so good though. How did shooting feel?
Pretty good.
The slow pulling where you have to like calm down to shoot.
See, the thing is,
I
I'm
think
not
is a
going to
cool
say it felt
mechanic.
perfect because every TV there was the same Samsung brand of TV, and they all had lag on it, like theater mode lag.
Yeah, it wasn't. They weren't on game mode.
So
that's
no,
for
none
sure.
of them were, and it was obvious, and it was a problem. So it felt pretty good, but it didn't feel as good as RE4. But I'd be very, very willing to believe that was almost entirely because of the goddamn TVs.
Yeah, I liked, again, this was a thing that I heard people kind of like complaining about because they'd get panicked and they would try to like run back a few steps, turn around, and like the crosshairs would take a second to come back to center. Mm-hmm. And when I say a second, I mean like a full fucking second. Like, you're just sitting there waiting to calm down, and you can see Leon start to breathe more calmly and bring his gun. And it's just like, I thought it was a really nice touch because that's like, it's so true to life.
And again, he is not the superhero. He's not the
Not in
the
he's not RE4.
agent whatever, that he is in RE4.
Yeah, he is 20 years old, maybe a virgin. Could be a virgin. He's got a lot to live for, is what I'm saying.
Well, they changed his backstory a little bit in the game where he says he was supposed to be in a week ago, and they said, yeah, they told me not to come in, so I wish I'd just come here sooner. In the original game, he missed the outbreak because he went to a bar for his birthday, got drunk, and got dumped by his girlfriend. So he was home.
I forgot about that.
He was getting drunk and passed out with a hangover because he got dumped. Is the original story, because it's Kamiya, and that's all of Kamiya's characters, where they're all super awesome, cool dudes who are terrible with women, which is his trademark in his games.
Yeah.
So now they changed it a little bit, which it sucks a little bit, but on the other hand, also is better in a way because for him saying, I was told I should have started a week ago, but they told me not to come in and just start a week later. makes sense because the zombie and the T virus is supposed to take about a full week to be completely infected. So they actually kind of changed his backstory a tiny bit. It was an a very obscure backstory thing of Leon, not a lot of people knew about. But they changed it and they did it on purpose to fit better with the canon of the game series, which is, the T virus takes a week to completely fully zombify you.
I don't know if we ever talked about, do you think the T virus or Plagas is more terrifying as a...
Las Plagas? I think the Las Plagas is, personally speaking, Las Plagas is more terrifying.
Yeah.
Because the T virus is to me, it would be kind of almost like leprosy in a way, where it's like you get infected and you're infected because you're deteriorating. And for me, it'd be okay, I'm deteriorating. Just let myself go.
But you lose your mind too. You slowly.
Yeah, because from the itchy tasty file. But the Plagas is so terrifying because it would be well, I don't know how conscious you are once it's fully attached to your spine.
Yeah, if you're totally aware.
But the idea of something attaching to your spine and taking control of your neural functions and making you do things is so terrible. And it actually, the thing about Las Plagas is that there are, and they reference the animals in the game in one of the files. There are a lot of animals that do this in real life to snails and ants and stuff like that. And it's oh my God, this is so fucked up. I'm so glad there's nothing that does that to a human. There is a not virus, but a parasite that eats your brain.
Yeah.
In water.
Yep. Here's my thing. If I had to get dropped into a city to deal with something, I feel like dealing with actual rotting corpses shambling about would be more terrifying than just dealing with dudes that seem like they're psycho.
Well, the terrifying initially zombies would be kind of worse, but there's another problem though. Is when you shoot off a Plagas guy's head and the fucking thing starts sprouting out, then you'd be oh fuck all of this.
I think both are terrifying. I just feel like the overrun city full of shambling corpses and lickers and shit like that.
Well, lickers and hunters would be so much fucking worse than say Plagas. When you talk about that shit, I feel like hunters and lickers would scare the piss out of me more than anything else.
Because a hunter's just a skinned gorilla.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm not gonna fight a gorilla
with claws.
Nope. Lickers, just be very, very quiet.
My favorite thing about hunters is the noises they make neutrally. There's a part where you're in the cave area, underground in the mines in REmake, and there's hunters in there and they don't know you're there immediately. So if you just walk into this room and just stand still and not move, you don't see them, but you hear them making these weird they make these weird froggy, croaky, clicky noises.
Nope.
And I'm that's so cool that hunters do that because they actually have frog DNA in them. So I think it's frog DNA. Mike could tell you, but I love hunters. I think hunters are the fucking coolest villain. I like them more than lickers because lickers are just skinless, naked men, brain men with a big, tentacle tongue.
That's sharp.
Sure, they're gross looking, but see, I think lickers are gross, and I think hunters are cool.
Oh, okay. I think both are terrifying.
Oh, I would not want to fuck with neither.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not down with it. I'm good. I don't need that. I was just. I think I was talking. It was probably Mike that I was talking to, where I was just kind of if I had to get dropped into deal with one of them, if I had to be Hunk. Getting dropped into a place to extract something and deal with it, I would rather deal with Plagas than deal with...
If it's strictly zombies, I'd go zombies. Because with Plagas, it's even if you blow off their head, they may not be dead yet.
Yeah, but okay, Plagas, in order to infect you, it's they gotta hold you down, they gotta puke in you,
a Plagas is not necessarily concerned about infecting you. A Plagas is concerned just about killing you straight up.
Yeah. But, you get nicked, sneezed on, you breathed in, blood mist by accident. You fucking, you shoot a dude in the face and blood mist gets in your eyes.
We've clearly seen fucking, in this game, Leon can get, giant bite marks on his neck in Remake 2, and you can use the health spray.
But, yeah, but, that's for the game. But, in the story of the game, that's gameplay stuff. But in the story of the game...
the T-virus is a blood transfusion. I think I found a
Scratches, any mucus membrane, like where fluids and stuff like that.
I mean, this is just getting into fucking RE lore shit. Again, it is, there's a file in Remake 2 I think I found where it said, the only thing I found out is that it's not airborne. Which is funny because the movie fucked that part up.
Yeah, well, it can be airborne at first, but once it's like a certain amount of time...
Well, like I believe the original canon is the T virus itself is not an airborne virus. Like, it needs to be blood transfused.
Or some form of fluid, because like in the original game, like it was like colds, people like sweat and stuff too did it.
Yeah.
But like if you have an open...
I think they retconned it too with the fucking leeches with Marcus and shit.
Probably.
But whatever. But yeah, RE2, best game of the show.